Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Yeah, I just went live quickly on Instagram for a little bit. And today, sadly enough, my Pebble smartwatch ceases to exist. Um, Sad day. I wanted to use it today, and I downloaded the Pebble app and was getting ready to set it all up, which I should have never deleted it. And sadly enough, I can't log into the to my Pebble account anymore because that's completely gone. And all the watch faces that I had for my Pebble Watch are gone. They're just all gone. Applications all gone. So my Pebble Watch is really only good for exactly at this point notifications, and then the stock watch faces that my Pebble Watch has is all I could use, and that's very sad. So, um, completely 100% legacy on my Pebble Watch. Yes, they are completely legacy because if I wanted to use them, I would only use them basically for notifications, and that's pretty much it. I wouldn't use them for anything else at this point, or even try to customize it for anything because you really can't customize it. It's completely gone. The Pebble Watch is gone, kaputs, out of there. Um, yeah. So, uh, well, yeah, the channel name. Let me just kind of brief you guys on that. The channel name went back to a retro name that I've used for the longest time before I decided to revamp everything. And so now the channel name is only there just as a retro, just because this month is it's my month, August. In 2 weeks from now is my birthday, so I'm really excited and at the same time dreading it because I'll be turning 36 years old. And I figured, I started the channel off as Aloha Android, and so this kind of a throwback. So for this month, the IG account and the YouTube page is giving a homage to the throwback name that most people who's followed me since day one pretty much know that where that name is from, or what the channel's name that was that back then. So, anyways, let's just kind of throw it out there. So, Sprint waiving overage fees for anyone that's affected by the wildfires in California. That is crazy. I kind of ponder on that just a little bit because most of Sprint's plans, sharing this. Um, oh, okay, cool. Most of Sprint's plans is unlimited. So when they say that they are waiving overages for talk, text, and data, exactly what overages are they waiving? I mean, it's a nice gesture for Sprint to sit there and say that that they want people to be able to connect with families during a very hard time with the fires out in Northern California and Mid California area. Um, Again, shout out to Paltech. Glad that you got out of there and that you're safe, bro. Um, yeah, that's gotta be a tough thing to do. When you kind of think about it, but with any situation, not just with the fires, but like over on the Big Island in Hawaii. People had to leave their homes because of the eruptions that was happening, and people losing their homes. I mean, when you lose everything that you have, that sets you for some very tough times to have to rebuild. I mean, you can't take everything with you, so you're gonna lose a lot of things that took you years to build, and yeah, that's gotta suck really bad, you know. So to Paltech, my thoughts and prayers with you and your family, bro, that you guys are safe. And to anyone that's affected by it, the same too as well. I hope that everyone is safe and got out of there. And even though you lose everything that you have, it's better to lose all the material things that can always be replaced than to lose yourself or a loved one, because those things can't be replaced. So, but anyways, so what I wanted to ask people basically, while you guys have the open ground to ask me whatever, what I want to ask all of you guys is your thoughts between the Moto E5 Plus and the LG Stylo 4. Yo, the individual, what's up? Pop Trigger, hello, what's going on? Hi. Good morning, or good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. But what do you guys think? Stylo 4, Moto E5 Plus, because those are the two that I'm kind of looking into. So I'm kind of looking into either one. I don't really care too much for the Stylo 4 Plus. There's not a really big marginal. On paper, I prefer the E5 Plus over the Stylo 4. E5 Plus for sure, for sure. Cool, cool. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. It feels a little bit different with all these budget devices coming out this year. I don't know if you guys have kind of felt that. Um, I mean, with the Stylo 4, it's just like, mm. It's a little bit weird. And the pricing for the Stylo 4 to me just seems a little bit weird too, because the Stylo 4, what was it? For Boost Mobile is going to be sold at $200. So the same price that the LG G Stylo was sold for when it first came out was $200. And I went to go and play around with the Stylo 4. I played with the unlocked version over there at Best Buy yesterday. I went to go pick up a 64 gig SD card because they were going for like $20, like $19.99 for a 64 gig class 10 with the right speed of 100 megabits per second. So if you're wanting to get an SD card with a higher capacity of storage, you might want to go to Best Buy because they have pretty good deals going on right now with SD cards. But I played around with the Stylo 4, and I was kind of impressed with the build quality. I'll tell you guys that much right now. The build quality feels similar to my Moto X4. So, although I'm kind of interested in the G6 Play over the E5 Plus in terms of price, if the cameras are compatible. Well, I mean, I played around with the G6 Play, the unlocked version, and I would, say go for that if you're going to go for the G6 Play. Only because it has double the storage capacity compared to what Boost Mobile has at 16 gigs, and I think if John can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but the Cricket version also has 16 gigabytes for the G6 Forge. So if that's the case, the unlocked version, which can run on Boost Mobile and it can run on GSM carriers, that one has 32 gigs of onboard storage, but it still has 2 gigs of RAM. It still has the same processing chip. So the only difference is just the storage capacity. And I would say go unlock because if you ever hate the carrier that you're with, well, you can just cancel service, pull the SIM card out, chuck it in the trash, and go with a different provider that works great in your area. So I would say if you decide the G6 Play, go unlocked, or the E5 Plus when it comes out, go unlocked. Motorola is actually pretty good with that. I've noticed that Motorola devices can actually swing over to the Sprint side and CDMA side of things, which is really good. I would consider Motorola to be true unlocked devices, because while there are unlocked devices, like from Blue, from Asus, from those different companies, they don't run on CDMA, so they are unlocked, but for GSM compatibility. Seeing that they are gesture-based navigations on the Moto Z3 makes me wish they would have added that. Yeah, that would be nice. But then again, that's always something that's possible that can happen in the future. The software update. However, the Z3 really, I went to go play around with that phone too at Best Buy yesterday. It's a pretty solid phone. I know the Z3 Play came out before the Z3, and people were already raving about that phone. So then the Z3 right now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe in order for it to actually access 5G, it needs that Moto mod attachment for it, if I'm not mistaken. Because they had that little piece next to it, and I was playing around with them. Nearly almost got the Pixel 2. I almost ordered the Pixel 2. I was really thinking about it. But then I was thinking to myself, too, at the same time. Because I have Boost Mobile and I have Project Fi. And I could actually finance the Pixel 2. But I was like, well, maybe I should just save my finance opportunity for if the Pixel 3 comes out. I might just, might as well. If I'm going to finance something, I might as well finance something worth financing. And if the Pixel 3 comes out, I may just end up going for that. But yeah, I'm just kind of they're trying to decide between the Stylo 4 and the E5 Plus. That's kind of why I'm still thinking of the E4 Plus because of the thumbprint scanner navigation. Gets rid of the one-touch navigation for Motorola. It's a neat little feature. I really wish there's only one thing that I don't like about it, and it's just for preference for me. I like using it, but The only thing about it is the vibration. I hate when I use a vibrate when I like swipe across it and it has to vibrate all the time. I wish you can toggle that off. Hey, I want you on my live stream at night, bro. And you're so free. Yeah, 9 times. Yeah. I wouldn't mind joining up. You know, we'll see if I have some free time tonight. I know later on this evening, like, yeah, you guys probably laugh at me. I've been really big on Pokemon Go, and I'm trying to complete the special research tasks to get Mew. And I finally completed catching 10 ghost type Pokemon, which is so lame. People will laugh at me for that. So I mean, maybe after, I don't know if you're live and you're broadcasting live by the time I come back from playing tonight, then yeah, I'll join in. But yeah, the one button navigation for Motorola, the E4 Plus, I really dig that. I really do. I just wish there was a way to shut off the vibration. I know what I'm doing if I'm swiping left to go back, if I'm swiping right to access recent apps. I know what I'm doing. I don't need the thing to vibrate to let me know that it's registered. I know that's what it's for. It's to let you know that it's responding to your command. I get it. I just wish that they would allow a way to toggle that off with the E4 Plus. The E4 Plus is still a solid device, and it's still one I would recommend for anyone to use out there if they're wanting to, to get a pretty solid Motorola device. Especially right now, since the E5 Plus is out of stock on boostmobile.com, and a lot of places don't carry it, and a lot of their stores don't even know. Some stores don't even know about it here in my city. I'm not saying anywhere else, but here in my city, like I've called like 5 Boost Mobile stores just to see when they were gonna get them in stock, and they were like, "Oh, we have them in stock already. We have them in stock already." I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's the E5 Plus, not the E5 Play." And the guy's like, "Yeah, I got one," and he grabbed the box or something. I guess he comes back, he reads the front, and he says Moto E5 Play, and I go, "No, there's a Moto E5 Plus, bigger phone, 5,000 milliamp hour battery, the successor to the E4 Plus." "Oh, I didn't know we were getting that." Oh, you work for Boost Mobile. I'm pretty sure you guys got dirt sheets. Go read them. I don't care. You can run around and catch Pokemon while we talk. All you need is to hang out. Ah, okay. And Mills also wants to sponsor a few videos with you. He wants to sponsor a few videos with me. What do you mean sponsor? Like, elaborate on that, John. What's a sponsorship and what's it all about? Fill me in. Because I know Mill Hustles has his channel. I seen it. And I seen, what's his name? The LG V20 user use it. I blame Lenovo Moto for that confusion. There used to be only one Moto G, one Moto E. Yeah. I agree with you. The confusion out there is just... Yeah, there's like a massive amount of everything. There's like 2 or 3. It's almost, if you kind of think about it, it's kind of like... What was it? A friend of mine said it too. He was like, well, Apple released 3 phones. The iPhone 8, the 8 Plus, and then the iPhone 10. So now every other company is trying to release 3 of everything. I'm like, that's a good analogy. That's a good thing. We can't say that's definitely what they're doing, but it's a good analogy because now that Apple does 3, now other companies are doing 3, 3, and 3. 3 of everything. It's just crazy. Don't mind my kids. They're enjoying their weekend. They went to school for 3 days and they act like they've been going to school for a whole year. AKA pay you to make videos, laugh at myself, sponsor is. But I mean, yeah, that's like, well, when I'm asking what's he sponsoring, like what's the sponsorship for, what's the terms and everything like that. I know when you're sponsored, you're paid to do things, but what I want to know is like what's the terms and stuff like that. Like you said, to make videos, but what kind of videos? Like videos, for him, videos regarding a product. Being sponsored to mention merchandise, like those are the things I'm asking about. Yeah. So anyhow, but yeah, that's just where my thing is at, because I held the LG Stylo 4 and just off of build quality, not off of using it, software wise, but just off of build quality, is a huge step up from what the Stylo used to be. I mean, like it literally, when I held it in my hands, it felt like my Moto X4. My Moto X4 is made of metal and glass, right? Metal rails, unlocking. So like unlocking devices. Um, so I'm seriously impressed with what LG did with it. Now, then comes the software side of things. I see. Unlocking website. Yeah, I don't mind shooting some traffic his way and getting people to head over there to get their phones unlocked. That's pretty solid. I guess I'll get in touch with Mil Hustles later. I'll probably hit him up on Facebook and get all the deets. But that's actually pretty solid. If he's unlocking phones, that's pretty dope. Um, but yeah, John, you can. I've watched your videos and I've heard you talk about the Stylo 4 and some of the things you found disappointment. But elaborate more with me on it. Like, go deeper into it because I know, like you just said, Moto E5 would be the way to go. So, what were some of I know you mentioned camera and things like that, but exactly like kind of go into the core things that just made you disappointed with the Stylo 4. It's like I'm interviewing you. The Korea software price and spec wise competes more with the Moto G6. Yeah, the price for the Stylo 4 is just here, there, and everywhere. I mean, like right now, Metro PCS has got a pretty solid deal. If you're like so goal focused on getting a Stylo 4, you can switch over to Metro. You get it free. I think, and you also get the Moto E5 free because I know the Moto E5 Plus is going to Metro. I do it, but I'm already sponsored by the unlocking company. Haha. I see. Yeah, I don't mind helping out Mill Hustles and doing that. Like I said, I'll get in touch with him about it. See what he has in mind. All right, John. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support, bro. But man, I tell you, the only downside that I noticed with Motorola products, and Tony Pazzo can expand more on this. What's going on with the name? Oh, it's a throwback. It's a throwback because my birthday's in 2 weeks, and since this is my month in August, the name that was synonymous with this channel that made everything possible that everyone remembers, I decided to switch it back for the month of August. It's just for the month of August. Just kind of paying homage to it. So that's the reason why it now says Aloha Android, and the Instagram page says the same thing too, just to kind of like side by side. Adoptable storage, I think, is the one thing that kind of like drags down Motorola devices, and I think that's something that Moto should really look into. It's like I bought a 64 gig SD card yesterday at Best Buy, and I put it in my G6 Play, and I turned on adoptable storage. So right now, total, and that's with not that's kind of the space that the software is using. Total, I have 80 gigabytes of internal storage, and like 9 gigabytes is used for the software. And so, yeah, adoptable storage is okay. I noticed that that's what's really bogging down the phone when you have that activated. When you don't have it activated and you're using the native storage and you're using your SD card as a portable storage, it runs a little bit better. I'm still waiting for the update from Motorola on the G6 Play. At least for the Boost Mobile version, that fixes that screen issue, that whole stuttering. I heard that some apps still can't be moved to SD even with adoptable storage. Is that true? Yeah, some apps cannot be moved. So you can't move like your entire list of applications. Like Facebook on the G6 Play, since it's a native app that's in the system apps that comes pre-installed in the phone, that won't. It can't move to the SD card. I really wish it could because honestly, I don't even think Facebook should be a system app. Like I honestly feel like that. With any prepaid carrier, which Boost has the worst track record of because they have so many BS apps as bloatware. But I just honestly think that there should be no reason for it. Like if people want Boost mobile apps, if they want Amazon apps, if they want Facebook, they'll go and download it. Like force shoving it in people's faces is just ridiculous. Like I don't even use the native Facebook application. I use Facebook Lite. because I don't do a lot on Facebook. I don't stream on Facebook. I don't shop on Facebook. So, all I do is just post what I'm doing daily on there, which is actually posted by Twitter. I tweet and it shares it to Facebook, so kills two birds with one stone. And it's just for my family and friends to be like, okay, this dipshit is doing this again. Good for him. Thumbs up. It's that type of thing. Like I don't do anything heavy on Facebook, so I don't even see why that Facebook would have to be, a freaking bloatware app that's pre-installed on Boost mobile phones. I honestly feel like that with prepaid companies and prepaid phones that they shouldn't have bloatware. Like bloatware is probably the number one thing I would want to get rid of on any device sold through any prepaid carrier. There's no need for it. Like I get maybe like one or two Boost mobile apps like My Boost, which basically gives you access to your account on Boost Mobile. Like, okay, I can understand that being there. You want to be able to see when your bills due. If you want to swap devices, you want to be able to do that easily with the application. But, other things like Boost TV, I don't give a crap about. Boost TV sucks. I'm sorry. I'm an advocate for Boost Mobile. I like their service. But Boost TV just absolutely sucks. I got YouTube. Who cares? Boost Music, I don't really use it. I have Google Play Music. I like using that. They shut down Boost Deal. So, these apps should be something that people choose to download. Now, if Boost wants to run some sort of promo, like if you download our Boost Mobile applications, we'll shave, $5 off your bill. So be it. Do it that way. Hey, that's cool, But don't force me to have to do that. That's the one thing that really aggravates me. My main number that I use is Boost Mobile. My Project Fi number is, I guess you can say like my secondary driver. Like I use Project Fi, especially when I'm traveling. I love Project Fi traveling. I'll share with you guys because not that long ago I took a trip out to Oklahoma to see my dad and to see my son, my eldest son, because he lives with his mother. And so I went out there for the weekend, and places where my service with Boost Mobile dropped to 3G or roaming, my Project Fi was just full LTE. So that was awesome to have. So Project Fi is great if you're someone that travels a lot because it jumps between 3 carriers, which you guys probably already know that. It's pretty solid. I just wish that Project Fi would just stop dingle-dangling with unlimited and just give unlimited plans, like $50 flat rate unlimited. $60 unlimited with hotspot, $70 unlimited with, hotspot unlimited as well. Something like that. That's how they keep prices low. Companies pay to have their apps pre-installed. I get what you're saying with that. It's just still, Or here's one. I guess I'm going to take what you just said right now with, companies pay to have their apps pre-installed. Yeah, have them pre-installed with the ability not to disable, but to uninstall. Give us the option to uninstall them. That's fine. I guess the thing is like, while they are, making the prices for the phones lower by, paying these manufacturers to have these apps pre-installed on the phones, with the ability to uninstall them will allow people to free up storage because these apps are just taking up storage that is not going to be used. And taking up storage that's not going to be used, the app's never going to be used, is not going to force us to say, well, it's on there, it's taking my storage, I'm going to use Boost Music. Like, it's not going to change anyone's mind to use that service just because it takes up part of the storage. What this actually invokes is people wanting to study and learn how to root their phone so they can get into the system folders and completely delete the APK file out of the root system so it completely deletes it and alleviates that portion of the storage. So if it's a 15 megabyte APK file along with the cached data and that's built up, it'll wipe out maybe like 100 megabytes of storage, depending. So just give us the ability to uninstall it. If it's pre-installed and it's on the phone when the first boots it up, and that's a person first boots it up. It's there. If the person wants to use Boost TV or Boost Music or, Boost whatever, they'll use it. If they don't want to use it, let them uninstall it. That's my thing. Just let them uninstall it. Even if it's, Facebook Facebook, man. I don't need that to take up so much storage. I like Facebook Lite. Like lately, I've been using all the Lite versions of social media. Like I have Twitter Lite, which is phenomenally good. It's very, very, very small size application. It doesn't have the ability to live stream from it, but it has all the other amenities that normal Twitter has, including the ability to flip it, to night mode and all that stuff. And then, like some people were complaining about Twitter having its, that. What do you think of Samsung's new J phones? To me, they fell off. Yeah, I don't really care for Samsung and its J series. Its J series is just repetitive crap, in my opinion. I'm sorry if it offends anyone out there who bought the phone and thought it was amazing and awesome because it has Bixby. It's just regurgitated crap. The best versions of the J series from Samsung would be the J7 2015 model that came out on Boost Mobile. Even though it came out in 2016, it's still considered a 2015 version. And then the J3 2016. Those two are the only two that I would say was ever really good. And anything that came after that, had minor changes for the good and minor changes that were bad. And some major changes that were bad. But, yeah, I use all the Lite versions. Instagram Lite, I have Instagram Lite on the phone. And eventually you'll be able to post videos to your stories. It doesn't have the chat section, so you can't private chat anyone on Instagram. But it has all the other things. You can upload photo, video, and you can share photos to your story. So let's see here. I've heard they have great cameras with large apertures. It's still not enough to overlook the low specs. Yeah. Well, the J7, what the hell is it? Is it called the Refine? I know that one, people were raving about the cameras because the rear and front facing camera are at the same megapixel rating. And I think it's just go focus on camera quality with the J7. But yeah, you're right. The cameras is not enough for anyone to overlook I wouldn't say low specs, but the same specs as the J7 Perks. I mean, it's just not really a huge difference. Not really a huge difference at all. Performance-wise, going into Best Buy and playing with these phones, I mean, there's just not anything that's really sold me on saying, hey, this is worth people taking a look at. Now, I mean, if you have something completely old, like if you have the hell's that phone called? Oh, not the S3. It looks like an S3. It looks like the freaking Samsung version of an iPhone SE. I think I have it in here, my little drawer. Let me see if I can find it. Here somewhere. This drawer is heavy. I got so much phones in here. Let's see if I can find that dang phone. Yeah, because I have my J3 right here, 2016. I don't throw anything away or pretty much give anything away. It's the Stylo 3. Where is this phone at? It is somewhere in here. I just don't remember the name of it. Maybe you guys can help me with it. See if I can dig it out. I don't see it. Nope. It's buried in there somewhere. I can't even remember it. Oh, the Prevail. I think it's Prevail. The Samsung Prevail. Yeah, I think it's that device. But anyways, that device, yeah. If you had something like that, then yeah, the J7 Refine would be a big step up, big update, from it. So, speaking of which, I'll just show you guys. I still have this phone. Kind of crazy, right? Everything today is trying to go with, all that, bezel-less display and everything, and I still have this phone still in my collection of phones, the Aquos Crystal, with just that bottom chin. And it's funny to see because I was always saying before that they could have just put the camera behind the screen up here and it would have been still cool, and it still would have been. And look how small that phone is. This is a really small phone. I still have it. It's still rooted, but there's no custom ROMs for it, so I can't really do anything with it. What old phones do you have from any respective carrier that's retro? Because I still have a lot of phones. If I dug them all out, man, we would have a long list here. I have some really old Boost Mobile phones, a couple of unlocked phones. Let me just say this right now. If you're underage and you see me vaping, don't do what I do. I'm gonna put that out as a disclosure. Don't do what I do. It's not cool. I don't do it to be cool. It's not fun. It's my way of not reverting back to smoking cigarettes. So I still have the LG Optimus V and HTC One V. Whoa, that is that's. I mean, first I'm gonna give you props because the Optimus V. I had one, and I want to say that I lost track of where it is in this. Well, it wasn't in this house because I moved here a couple of years ago. Prior to that, in my old house. Um, wow. And then the HTC One V. Nice. That's pretty nice. I wish I had them. The Optimus V was like, gosh, I remember when I was with, I had service with Virginmobile, and I ended up getting the Samsung Intercept. And then not long after, the Optimus V came out, and of course, it had a bigger display because back then, Android smartphones were ballparking around the 3-inch display size, and then the HTC Evo, that one was considered to have like a really big screen. Optimus V was my first smartphone. Yeah, the Optimus V was a pretty solid phone. I wish I had waited for that instead of getting the Intercept. The Intercept, while good concept, slide out QWERTY keyboard, touch display, running Android Froyo, it was just a pain in the ass to use at times. I think when I rooted that phone and I started installing custom ROMs based off of Froyo with gingerbread touches on it. How's the Moto X4? Is it getting timely software updates? Yes, as a matter of fact, it had a recent one. I think it was like a July 1st, June 1st or July 1st security patch. I think it was called. Next week. I think it was called. It was called the Moto X. Came out and I was jealous. I didn't wait for that. Oh. But yeah, the Moto X is getting timely updates, and that's kind of the reason why I like it. I mean, it is part of Android One, so it is supposed to get timely software updates. So I can't complain about it. The Moto X4 has been getting its updates, security patches. It hasn't moved up to Android 9, but I don't think that will happen with the Moto X4. I don't think it will. And so I get an iPhone 6s. I switch to Metro PCS. So I get an iPhone 6s if I switch to Metro PCS. Is it out today? I don't know if it's out today. You might want to contact your local Metro PCS store and see if it is. I know that the LG Stylo 4 is out there, and if you make a switch to Metro PCS, you get the Stylo 4 for Metro PCS for free. And I believe when the Moto E5 Plus is available for Metro, or if it's not already available, you can actually get the E5 Plus for free. So it just depends on what you're wanting to go for. The iPhone 6s, if you're trying to jump to iOS, then yeah. But call your Metro store, and they'll be able to tell you. I'm not too sure if that's already out. I would think so, because the iPhone 6s is not a brand new phone. So if you make the switch and you get one for whatever $49, I think it is, or if it's free or whatever, they should have them ready and available. The iPhone 6s is kind of weird. That's a phone that's still kind of going strong, and people tend to prefer that over the iPhone 7. Did you hear about Epic bypassing the Google Play Store and releasing Fortnite on? Yes, I heard about that. And I mean, I don't know. There's mixed emotions about it. People that follow the books, follow the guidelines, they think this should be put through. What's up, brother? E5 Charlie, what's up? Hey, I mean, if he was able to do it and get Fortnite out there for Android, more power to him, because I know a lot of people love playing that game. My kids play it. Cranberry juice. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of crazy that they were able to do that. What do you guys think about Android? Well, not Android, but Google possibly in the next 5 years killing off Android and releasing what we don't know the official name of the operating system, but we know it as Project Fuchsia. Like, what do you guys think about it? And how do you guys are going to perceive that? And that it's not going to be open source like Android, that is going to be locked down. Like basically Google controlled. Everything is going to be controlled by Google, and OEMs will have no say on how the operating system is. This is interesting to know what you guys think about it. I'm kind of scared because this will actually be Google's first mobile software for mobile phone devices. Now, just by saying that is just because Google didn't conceive and make Android. They bought Android from its original developers. So with Project Fuchsia, this will be Google's first smartphone operating system that they're going to come out with. Yeah, I don't like it. May as well switch to iOS now. Oh. Why don't you like it? Like, kind of like, elaborate for all of us. Like, what are some of the things that you don't like about Fuchsia and the direction that it's going? And I know that's like one of the things that's probably going to kill it for like the whole community is that since it's locked down, um, if they evolve the software and take it to the next level, then I'd be willing to give it a try. Okay, what do you mean by evolve? Like what kind of things would you want to see out of Fuchsia? Because like I know one of the things that really kills it for a lot of people is that it's going to be closed off. It's not going to be open source. So that I mean, obviously that means that companies like LG, Motorola, HTC, etc., are going to have to pay licensing fees to use the operating system on their hardware. The only company that you can bet that's not going to be paying any licensing fees is obviously going to be the Pixel devices because those are in-house Google hardware. But any other manufacturer would have to pay licensing fees. I mean, there's some good out of it from the direction I see it going because then OEMs don't have the choice to sit there and say, we don't want to give this phone, Android 10, because we'll just build an entirely new phone for them to buy that will have Android 10 pre-installed in it. Like, it kind of cuts that away from OEMs from doing that. So, like, when Google puts out the software update for this Fuchsia operating system, then, OEMs can still continue to do that. However, it wouldn't be so fragmented. You have to admit that Android has a lot of problems like fragmentation. Yes. Fuchsia is a solution. Yes, exactly. That's what it's going to cut down on. It's going to cut down on fragmentation. When Google releases out the software updates, more than likely, the OEMs are going to have to go along and update it. If that's included in part of the licensing fee contract between Google and OEMs, one of them, which hopefully Google will be smart about to add that in there, is that when there is a software update, that the OEMs must comply and update their hardware with this latest update. Because then that'll cut down on the fragmentation. That'll cut down from a lot of devices being on older versions of it or having older security patches of it. Like my G6 Play, what aggravates me about that is like the Moto E5 Plus has the June 1st security patch. My Moto G6 Play has been out for a while, and I have yet to receive a security patch. I'm still on I think March 1st is what it said. Let me go into it real quick. So, I want to say it's March 1st. Let's see. About the phone. Yeah, March 1st, 2018, Android security patch level. I haven't even gotten to June 1st yet. So I'm still vulnerable to whatever, threats there is. I'm so vulnerable to it. Which, most of the Android security patches, also one of the things that they do is whatever exploit that was used to root a phone, they patch that and block it. There's, these at home, in their room with 2 liters of Mountain Dew Code Red, I want to say devs. I'll give them the title of devs. Go in there and they find ways to root phones. Like you said about Twitter and Facebook Lite, if web apps like those are the future, then you don't really need native Android apps anymore. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I mean that's one of the cool things that Fuchsia will do is remove fragmentation as a big killer point. And then of course one of the other things that you know people complain about Android is timely software updates. If Google puts out the update and part of the licensing fee and the licensing contract between OEMs and Google would also bridge that too as well, where all devices will get timely security updates. That's the other thing too, because that's like one of the main killing points of Android. Like Android as its user experience has gotten way better from what it was back in the day of froyo, gingerbread, and ice cream sandwich. It's gotten a hell of a lot better. It's gotten a lot smoother. Yes, it's hard to make something smooth on a piece of hardware that costs $50. Which is what they were trying to alleviate with not Android One, but what the hell was the other? Oh, Android Go, which was kind of a failure. Twitter Lite runs on Windows 10 PCs, Android, and iOS phones. I think a lot of companies are going to release their apps in the same way. Yeah, Facebook did a great job with Facebook Lite. I gotta say, that, if you were to download and use Facebook Lite, if you don't stream on Facebook yourself, and if you don't do the Facebook Market and all the other stuff, if you just go on there to read posts, post things, post gifs, thumbs up people's posts and stuff like that, and chat with people, then yeah, you know what? Facebook Lite does really good. The only thing that my gripe was with Facebook Lite was the fact that they released a Messenger Lite, which I thought was unneeded because the original Facebook Lite application had Messenger built in. So if you tap the Messages logo, it opened up the message thread. You didn't need a separate application for that, which is one of their big mistakes. But obviously, Facebook is Facebook. They're always going to do some dumb shit like that. But yeah, Twitter Lite functions very good. Functions just like how Twitter is. You don't see much of a difference, except for where the navigation bar is at the bottom of the regular Twitter app. It's now back at the top where you can switch between your tweet feed, your mentions, your likes, your DMs. Is back on the top where it was before. And then Instagram Lite, there's not really a huge difference in it other than the fact that you don't have the chat threads. So you can't swipe to the right and see all your chat threads with your friends. And it does have Instagram stories, but they're only photo posts for right now. Video post is coming soon with another update. Once that happens, I'll make a video about Instagram Lite. For everyone else that wants to use Instagram that's not interested in live broadcasting from Instagram, they don't do any of those types of things, then but they like to post videos to their stories, post pictures to their stories, look at people's feed and like photos and videos, then yeah, I'll do a review of Instagram Lite. You can actually find it from apkmirror.com. I'm going to say AKP. I don't know why. apkmirror.com actually has the APK files for Instagram Lite and Twitter Lite. So, because they're not in the Play Store. If you try to find them in the Play Store, it's going to tell you that your region is not compatible for it. But it's in the APK Mirror website. So you can download it there if you want to try it out. And it actually works pretty good. And they're very small files, so they take up very little room of your storage in order for them to run those types of functionalities in it. And I would definitely say give it a shot. You guys actually might be a little bit stunned on just how well these light versions of the applications work. So, yeah. I'm curious about the G6 Play durability. How is the back of the phone? Well, I can tell you right now, I don't have any scratches. I have a lot of fingerprints. You can see my fingerprint smudges right there. Fingerprints, no micro scratches, and sometimes I run it in a case and sometimes I don't. I mean, I have 2 cases for it. Here's one of them. This is the most recent one I got, and it comes with one of those little, finger rings. It's $656 I bought this for. And the other case that I have, well, I checked my fish tank. He's probably freaking out right now. I got a little beta fish up there. And then my other case that I have doesn't have a finger grip or anything like that. It's this one. Talking about the oleophobic little coating that they put on it to make it sleek. It does. It's not super slippery. I mean, if you hold it in your hand, you have a good grip of it, it's fine. If you have sweaty hands, this will slide out. Even though this is not glass, this is plastic. It's like acrylic plastic, but it does get pretty slick. So I mean, if you have sweaty fingers, or if you're going to be out, doing things that may cause the phone to slip out of your hand, I would definitely recommend picking up a case for it. And these cases have ridges on it too as well, so it adds for extra grip. So, yeah, pretty solid cases. The Moto G6 Plate, like, to be honest with people, like, I know some people will be like, why get a G6 Plate? You can get the E5 Plus, it has more storage. Yeah, well, if you get the adaptable storage right, which, I put in a fresh SD card and just formatted it like that, and it's running pretty good. Sometimes it still bogs down, and that's just because the adaptable storage is not perfect. With Moto phones, I don't know why. They need to really fix that. Like, it's pretty snappy, but it's snappy so much that, like, when I swipe between apps, can you see the stutter a little bit? And then it has, like, a bounce effect, too. Sometimes I'll swipe down, and it'll just wind up rolling back up, which is kind of, like, annoying. It does that. Yeah, it's crazy. But, I mean, the G6 Play is still one up off a solid phone. Especially if you get it for $80 at Walmart. I think it still goes for $80 at Walmart. I'm not sure, so you might want to call your local Walmart, see if they carry it in stock and what the price is. I bought it for $79.99. So while I am frustrated with some of the screen glitches that happens with it, I can't be too mad at the phone because I didn't buy it at the full price. I didn't buy it for $150 or $179.99, which is the actual full price. Bought it for $100 less. So $80 phone, I'm getting my money's worth out of it. Adaptable storage inside of it, I'm not worried about getting the unlocked version right now because I have basically 80 gigs of internal storage with the SD card in there. And get a good SD card for it. How does the performance compare to the E4 Plus? Any differences? I'll tell you right now, the E4 Plus seems faster as far as like touch response. So there is a slight delay when you touch the screen and you try to do a command like swiping up. It feels like there is like a slight, like maybe 1.5 second delay. Whereas on the E4 Plus, when you swipe up, it's like instantaneously. So you will notice that the G6 Play is a little bit slower than the E4 Plus. But that's the screen issues that I've been having with it. And that's what one guy on the Moto Lenovo support page, you can go to that page and check it out. One guy in Brazil got a software update, which they're probably still working on, but it fixed the problem for him. And so now his G6 Play is snappy and fast. And if that's what I'm waiting for the software update, once that update comes through, if it fixes any of the bugs that this phone has, I will definitely make a video. Like right now, I'm in no rush to get the E5 Plus or the Stylo 4. I was wanting to get it for like a birthday gift, but I kind of changed my mind on that, and I'm probably gonna wait till either the end of August or beginning of September to either pick one of those phones. Like right now, the G6 Play suffices and it's running fine with me. And I'm not one of those people that like has to chase down every new phone that comes out. So unless I want to upgrade to those, and when they seem a little bit stable, then I'll go for it. Which is why, like I asked, like John earlier, like how he felt about the Stylo 4. The Stylo 4 feels solid in my hands, but holding a phone in your hands does not tell you what how the user experience is going to be. And before I drop, close to $200 for a phone, I want to make sure that I'm putting money in, I'm investing money into something that I'm going to get, good use out of. Because if I'm going to have such a terrible time with the Stylo 4, it's going to feel like I wasted $200 for nothing. So I will continue to play around with the phone, especially over there at Best Buy. They're really cool about it. They have the phone on, and they come and they actually turn the phone on when I want to play around with the phone. So that way, are you moving away from phone reviews on your channel? Not really. I mean, like, I'm not doing as much phone reviews because I'm not buying as much phones. I mean, I can talk about them like I'm doing right now. I know somebody messaged me and was like, that they know I wasn't doing so much unboxings and stuff like that, but would I still consider talking about a particular phone coming out, even though I don't have it in hand? And if you guys are interested in knowing my opinions about it, whether I have the phone in my hand or not, I'd be more than happy to discuss those things. Me personally, I felt like I really shouldn't say anything about a phone, only if I don't have it in my hands, because if you were to ask me a particular question about a phone and how it works, I wouldn't be able to answer that question because I haven't had the phone in hand to use. Maybe what I'll start doing is, because these phones are over at Best Buy, I can actually go there and have the guys basically break it out of the case, let me play around with it and experiencing it, and then if you guys want me to actually talk about a certain phone, then I will. I don't mind doing it. I have no problems doing that. I know just recently I was kind of like, tripping out because BlackBerry released the Evolve and the Evolve X. I'm going to look more into those phones and see probably do a video of what I think about them. But yeah, I'm not really moving away from phone reviews. I just want to add more things. I know some of the things you guys probably won't be interested in. Like I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go and I really like the game. And some of you guys probably don't even care about that. So if I upload a video, you guys probably will be like, oh, it's just another one of his weird games that he plays. But lately it's been a lot of fun, and since I posted up my trainer code, I've gotten a bunch of people like requested to add me on there. So yeah, there's different things I want to do. Movie reviews, like Avengers. I finally had some time to sit down and watch Avengers: Infinity Wars, really thoroughly to really make light of everything, because Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't know if you guys saw the hidden ending credits. Where Ant-Man was stuck in that vortex or that realm that he was in, and it happened that when he was trying to get out of there to be returned back to normal size, and he was calling out to everybody that no one answered, and it happened to be at that point where Thanos snapped his fingers and wiped out half the universe. It's that you keep the phones you buy. Is it too much of a hassle to buy and review the phones and return it, or do you disagree with that practice? I don't disagree with the practice. It doesn't bother me if other reviewers buy phones and then return it and then use that money to buy another phone. But for me, I'll tell you right now, when I buy a phone and I start using it and to do review and stuff like that, I don't want to give the phone up. So I end up keeping it. Live, new Ant-Man is great. Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp is pretty solid. And then, so you saw the ending credit scene that I'm talking about, I'm making reference to? Where he was trying to get out of that realm, and he was calling out for them to return it back to normal size, but no one was responding, and that happened to be the exact when he was doing that, he was trying to get out of that realm, was the exact moment where Thanos snapped his fingers and wiped out half of the universe. Yeah, because I know Ant-Man is going to be in the Avengers 4. He's going to be in the fourth one, along with Hawkeye and then the 6 original members of the Avengers, which. The Avengers, that was pretty solid. I think, and I kind of go back to this, but I think what made it very sad for people wasn't so much that Thanos wiped out half of the universe. It was the fact that Peter Parker was, pleading with Iron Man that, he didn't want to go. He didn't want to die. I think that's what killed it for everybody. That was a very emotional moment. So, yeah. I can see why everyone was making a huge deal about it. Infinity Wars... yeah, we still got another, more or less, just a little bit under a year until the next Avengers comes out, and then they were talking about like all the leaked information about it. Like someone actually called it, one of the cast members called it Avengers: Infinity Gauntlet, and so like the directors are saying that that's not the title of the movie. However, they were pretty upset that name was leaked out, or that the word Gauntlet was leaked out, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was going to be called. You love Infinity? Yeah. Infinity Wars was pretty solid. I like that. I like how Doctor Strange basically peered into 14 million plus, alternate universes to see which, like what were the odds chances of them actually being victorious over Thanos. And it was just so sad. It's 14 million to 1. There's only one scenario that the Avengers will come out on top to win. And obviously is the reason why Doctor Strange relinquished the Time Stone and told Tony Stark that it was the only way before he vaporized to dust. So obviously. And I think a lot of people kind of overlooked that because they were like, Doctor Strange is dead and how's the Avengers going to do it? Well, Doctor Strange looked at 14 million possible ways which one led to the victory over Thanos, and there was only one. So obviously, if Doctor Strange gave the Time Stone to Thanos, then obviously that was part of it. And when he pled a deal with Thanos to spare Tony's life, and that he would give him the time stone obviously meant that Tony had to live in order for them to reach that end game of where they would become victorious over Thanos. And then two, what's also pretty crazy about it is that Thanos is not the type of villain that he is in the comics. Like if you've watched, not watched, but if you read the Infinity Gauntlet comics, Thanos was like completely, obsessed with just killing. Like he didn't have a very good reason to do what he was wanting to do. Where in this one, in the MCU universe, he was, I mean, he was a villain, but he didn't have that vibe of being a crazy, I just want to end life type of villain. He wanted to wipe out half of the universe to make life sustainable and easy. I guess in his way to dumb it down, he wanted to wipe out half the universe because he felt the universe was overpopulated and it was sapping all the universe's resources. And so if he wiped out half of the population of the entire universe, then all systems, all ecosystems and everything would have all that stress that was put on them from beings of sapping resources alleviated. So I felt like that, this Thanos from Infinity Wars is not really like a super villain. He's more of like he has a greater good. It's just what he's wanting to do is not right. Like whether or not you feel like the universe is, strained by so much life consuming its resources, doesn't give you the right to judge who lives and who goes. And even though he said it was random, so it wasn't like he picked, he chose who was gonna die. The snap of his fingers, the decision was made of who was going and who was staying. But still, no one has a right to, to pass that kind of judgment. Haha, Disney will never beat Avatar World Box Office. Yeah, so I mean, I'm interested in that. I was watching it with my kids, and like my kids saw the trailer to Infinity Wars, and I don't know if you guys remember, but in the trailer, in the movie trailer for Infinity Wars, it showed Bucky, the Winter Soldier, Captain America, the Hulk. They were running through the woods in Wakanda in the trailer. But if you actually watch Infinity Wars, that scene never happened. The Hulk never comes out in Infinity Wars. And that's just because this kind of has to go back to Thor Ragnarok, where Bruce Banner and the Hulk, they're not in tune. They're actually, the Hulk doesn't like Banner, and vice versa. Of course, Banner doesn't like the Hulk for the things that he does when he's enraged. And in Infinity Wars, the Hulk never comes out because he's still in conflict with Banner. But it is mentioned, you didn't like Ragnarok? Because of with the other Incredible Hulk movies, they weren't able to make a Hulk movie that would coincide with the Avengers. So they had to break the Hulk stories within other MCU movies. So the beginning stage of this story of the Hulk started in Thor Ragnarok, where the Hulk had control. Now in Infinity Wars, neither one had control. So after they said that in the next Infinity Wars is where the Hulk and Banner will come to some sort of truce, and that's where we'll get Professor Hulk, because at that point they would have come to a truce of who's in control. Doctor Strange is your favorite? Yeah, Doctor Strange is awesome. I even liked how key important his character was in Infinity Wars. Like even though he's not part of the Avengers, he had a very important role in all of it, and it still comes to one of those things where you just want to shoot that one person for being stupid. That one person, because Spider-Man almost had the gauntlet off, and you were like, oh my gosh, this could have just ended everything right there, but no, because of Gamora's death, it just had to spawn an action of stupidity that allowed Thor to continue to use the gauntlet. However, I read a lot of dirt sheets about the fourth installment, and they're talking about that one of the things that's going to be quintessential in the next Avengers is time travel. Time travel will be one thing, and they said something about that Iron Man has a gauntlet made for him. I guess to seize control over the six gems. There's a lot of speculation, but we'll just have to wait and see when the fourth one comes out. However, there was some photos leaked of filming of the next Avengers movie, and it showed Iron Man and Captain America in their older costumes. So obviously, I'm thinking that they find some way to time travel. As far as like the rest of the people that was wiped out, again, when you possess all six stones of the Infinity Stones, you can do whatever you want with them. Of course, for Thanos, it actually crippled him and cut his power by half when he did the snap. I don't know if you remember seeing the gauntlet was like nearly destroyed after he did the snap when he told Thor that you should have aimed for the head, and then he just boom, and then like all of that just started to change all across the universe. People were like turning into dust. But if you looked at Thanos' gauntlet, it was like all smashed up and cracked and partially melted. So I'm thinking like Thanos' powers weakened at that point. Like the snap took it all out of him. So now he's not even as powerful as he was when they faced off with him. Because that was crazy. That was crazy. My kids was watching it and they were like, oh. They're like, I thought he gets all six gems because the point where the Scarlet Witch basically obliterated the last gemstone, but Thanos was able to activate the power of the Time Stone, and he turned back time, and then took the last gem and bonded it with his gauntlet, and then he was able to do the snap. So it tells you that whoever wields the gauntlet can actually bring everybody back to life. Peter Parker, Doctor Strange, everyone can be brought back to life just by turning back time. If you can control time, you can bring it back to where the snap never happened. They just have to get the gauntlet from Thanos and be able to control it. Which is crazy because if they go back in time and make a fake Infinity Stone, they could. They very much could. But then again, Thanos would know. He would know it's fake. Because that's the thing too. Like another speculation is that because Thanos has all six gems and one of the gem powers is reality, then all these people dying out of the snap of his finger could be the reality that he created. I don't know if you remember the scene where the Guardians of the Galaxy showed up and it was the plan for Thanos to capture Gamora, but he created a reality around that world or that ship that made Gamora think that she killed Thanos, and then everything just kind of like switched over, and then all of a sudden you saw the whole world that they were at on fire, that he had already been there and destroyed just about almost everything. So now with the six gems, he has unlimited power to make his reality the entire universe. So the snap of his fingers, he changed the universe. Obviously, is another theory. So if you take that gauntlet from him and you use it, all things is possible with the Infinity Gemstones, which is based off of one of my favorite fighting games from like way back in the 90s. I don't know if any of you guys remember Marvel Superheroes, but this is where on a video game level was when the Infinity Gems was first really recognized by a lot of people, because you played as one of the Marvel characters between either Spider-Man, Wolverine, Iron Man, the Hulk, what's her name? I believe it's Psylocke. And some other ones. But in each level, up until you fight Thanos, in each level represented one of the Infinity Gemstones. And you would use them to your advantages along with your special attacks. Like Spider-Man, probably one of the best combo characters on the game. Acrobattle, and then just imagine if you used the Power Gem or the Reality Gem or the Time Gem, his Maximum Spider. That finishing move was just awesome. But yeah, so I was telling my kids about it. Like there was a game that they can play, and I tried to download an emulator for them to play it because it's a really good game. From that game spawned Marvel versus Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, X-Men versus Street Fighter, and then Capcom versus Marvel, and going on and on and on and forward. But yeah, Marvel Superheroes. The game itself basically debuted Infinity Gems, and in Infinity Wars, the movie pretty much just tells it even deeper. So it's crazy, but we'll have to see. I'll just break down and buy it because I want to see it again. I saw it in theaters. Actually, it's on Showbox. So if you download the Showbox APK, just Google it on Chrome and download and sideload the APK. Infinity Wars is on there. You can watch it for free. You don't even have to buy it if you really want to watch it that bad. If you actually want to own a hard copy of like the Blu-ray or DVD, or even get the code for Google Play Movies to own it, then yeah. But I would say just to watch it. If you want to watch it, just watch it on Showbox. Showbox is probably one of my favorite apps to watch movies. And then because I have a Nexus player, so I actually cast movies from my Moto X4 to my Nexus player, and I watch it on my TV. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. I'm interested in seeing what happens with Captain Marvel, because I know they're supposed to drop that movie before the Avengers Infinity Gauntlet comes out. I want to call it that because the directors had a real bad reaction to it when who was it that leaked it? I want to say it's the actress who played Gamora. She leaked it and called it the Infinity Gauntlet. So I'm thinking that's what it's still going to be called. I don't understand why directors get so butthurt when something is leaked, but we'll see what happens with that. And I gotta say though, I'm pretty stoked. I was trying to hold off watching Infinity Wars because I'm one of those people like, if I watch Infinity Wars and it's a continuation movie, I have to see the second part of it right away, or it's just gonna eat at me. But then everyone kept talking to me about it and talking to me about it, and just like, oh, so I finally watched it. It was the same with the Matrix movies, and when Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions, they were filmed together. However, they were separated into two films and released a year apart. I didn't watch Matrix Reloaded until Matrix Revolution hit theater. So then that way I watched Matrix Reloaded at home. And as soon as that was finished, my tickets for the movie theater was already ready. So I just drove off to the movie theaters and then watched Revolution. So it was like back to back. I seen the story beginning to end and could enjoy it. I'm impatient. I'm a very impatient person. I just can't wait. And like right now, I'm regretting watching Infinity Wars. Just having to wait until next year, 2019. It's killing me. It's killing me inside. Because I want to see it. I want to see how it ends. I mean, it makes sense too, right? Like the 6 original Avengers, having to do with the 6 Infinity Gems that's held by the Infinity Gauntlet, held by Thanos. That's crazy. Yeah. So, yeah. If you guys want me to review phones, even though I don't physically own them, if you guys just want to hear me just kind of give my thoughts and opinions about a phone, let me know. And I'll do them. Because, I don't know. For me, I feel like that the videos would hold no weight if I'm not, like, able to hold the phone in hand and say, this is what it can do. But some people are okay with me not having the phone and just want to hear my opinion about it. And if that's really what it is, then yeah, I can do that. But yeah, like, I'm just figuring other things to do on the channel. Just going with the flow. I don't do a lot of live streams just because I work. And I just really don't have the time. I work. I have kids. My kids take up my time when I get home, and I go to work. So weekends is really when I have the free time. I'm like, my work schedule is crazy. Like this week, I got Saturday and Sunday off. Usually I have, like, Saturday and Sundays is always going to be my off time. But then there's weeks where I have to work Saturday. So I'll have, like, split days off. Like one of the days out of the week and then Sunday. Which makes it hard because you really don't, when you have split days off, you really don't get any rest from work. I'll tell anybody that. Because, like, if I work Saturday and I'm off Sunday and I go back to work Monday, sure, I get off work Saturday, I'm tired from the day. Rocket will save the universe. My favorite part, my favorite thing of Avengers Infinity Wars is Thor and what he calls Rocket, because he calls him Rabbit. But Thor he just has that personality. It's just like, he says the darndest things, but he says it so seriously, and he means it. He means it, but it's just too funny. Like in the first Thor movie when he came to Earth, and he was in that diner and he drank that coffee, and then he's all like, "What do you call this?" And they're like, "Coffee." And he like gets all excited for it and slams the cup on the ground. And it's like, yeah, that's what they do in his home world when they like something, but on Earth, that's like disrespecting, business property. But it's just funny because it's just crazy. But yeah, when he calls Rocket Rabbit, that always made me laugh. But yeah, Rocket's kind of crazy. My girlfriend kind of tripped out seeing that because she was like a talking raccoon, and I was like, yeah, yeah, he's part of the Guardians of the Galaxy because she never saw Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2, and obviously, we know that everything's gonna go back to the way it was before the snap, obviously because they're making another Spider-Man movie. They're making Venom, which I'm poorly disappointed on how Venom is turning out. Venom is just, oh my god. Why did they have to change the way he gets the symbiote suit? Like, why did they have to change that? Eddie Brock does not get the suit from a lab. Everyone knows that he got it from when Spider-Man shed himself of it after realizing how aggressive the symbiote alien suit was making him. Everyone knows that. Why did they have to change it? How about tech advice like cord cutting or how to increase stream speeds, etc.? Yeah, I can do stuff like that. I don't mind doing stuff like that. As a matter of fact, that's what originally, in a way, like I guess what I was doing in the past before. 'Cause, before when you had like really 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 budgety devices on prepaid, people were trying to get a good decent smartphone at a good price. And that's what I was doing was, rooting phones or showing how to basically, increase storage on your device, how to make it, optimal to run pretty good, even though it was a $40 phone. So yeah, I guess I could do that. Yeah, I heard about that. As a matter of fact, here in my city, talks with Google Fiber and the city of Phoenix is back on. There's a lot of these places already that are like, being newly built, like newly built homes and apartments are already having the I want to say the hardware cables for Google Fiber already being planted in the ground. Like my apartment actually has connections for Google Fiber. So once Google Fiber goes live here, I can actually switch from my current internet service provider to Google Fiber and actually use them. And I would want to use Google Fiber because here's the cool thing about it, and then I don't think Google changed it. But even if you go with their basic, even if you don't buy a subscription to their internet service, you still get free internet with Google. Yes, the data speeds are 7 megabits per second, but how does that work with your phone, right? So if you have a Wi-Fi modem and you're getting free internet from Google, you're getting 7 megabits per second download speeds, you can still do a lot with that. Sure, if you were to YouTube and upload videos to YouTube, it's going to take you quite some time, especially if your video files like, almost a gigabyte if you're editing and rendering in 4K. But if you're rendering in like 720p HD like I do most of the time, or even doing 1080p, you're looking at 600 to 700 megabits of a video file. What do you think about cord cutting? Well, I never really gave any thought to it, to be honest. You'll probably trip out right now. I haven't given any thought to it, really. Lately, what I've been more like, watching out on is the whole, what do you call it? With like net neutrality being gone and what certain states are doing regarding net neutrality. That's really what I've been more focused on, and just kind of keeping watch out for. Just because I really want to know, like, what my internet service providers are going to be able to do, and how they're going to be able to, like, what kind of packages they're going to do, what kind of things are going to change with my internet. Like, these things are important to me. I got to know. I got to know what I'm going to be able to have access to, what certain sites are going to start getting slowed down because of, contracts. Right, I remember having unlimited data, 3G hotspot on Virginmobile, and running Netflix on my Nintendo. Yeah. so you have to pay for multiple services to watch everything. Yeah, I agree with you, Pop. I agree with you on that. Yeah, that's just one of my main concerns is just what, how far, like how much of damage is going to happen, because we're not even closely there yet of seeing the full repercussions of doing away with net neutrality. We're not even there yet. Like, these companies are slowly sneaking it in. Because I don't know if you remember how many companies out there were like, we don't care if they repeal net neutrality, we're still going to do things our way. But then they're just slowly sneaking in like all these different things that they can do and try to get away with them, like making people pay for certain packages to have certain access to certain sites that are not in partnership with the ISPs. So, if you want to be able to watch things on Netflix with a good refresh rate, you're gonna have to pay more. Otherwise, if you watch it with just your regular services, it's gonna get all not super choppy or anything like that. But the quality of the video playback is not gonna be all that great, only because that they are throttling. Which speaking of throttling, how do you guys feel about Apple being busted about thermal throttling their MacBook Pros? Oh my god, man. Just so many people that I know that bought the MacBook Pros were just so pissed off when they heard about that. That Apple was doing a form of throttling called thermal throttling. Yeah, it's actually not bad at all. Yeah, they did. They worked themselves into a corner with their thin and light designs. Yeah, because that's just wow. I know Apple does their weird quirky things, and it's like nowadays they get caught. And I wonder if like Steve Jobs did like a few backflips in the grave. And I give it to Steve Jobs. He'd be able to do something like that, and if he was caught, be able to get himself out of hot water real quick. You can still do downloads though. Yeah. Yeah, you could. Messages left and right. Oh my gosh. I'm planning for like the whole next weekend. Do you think that when 5G wireless services rolled out, that it can replace wired broadband and Wi-Fi services? It depends. We'll see how that works. We'll see how that rolls with the whole 5G thing. They can't throttle 5G. We'll see how that works out. There's so many variables to it. The way that Verizon is doing 5G is like way different compared to what Sprint and T-Mobile's idea of 5G and what they're gonna do for 5G and how it's gonna be. Tell you right now, I mean it's like we're at the dawn of 5G, but it doesn't feel the same as like when 4G LTE was coming out, like when we were on the dawn of that. The anticipation and the excitement behind it. While they do talk about 5G and the release of the Moto Z3 being the 5G capable phone, they're not really giving too much info on the infrastructure of 5G and how that's all going to play out. I mean, it's out there. If you Google it, you know, you'll find the schematics of it basically, but it's not heavily put out there like how it was when we were on the dawn of 4G LTE and how that was being so pushed. So I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see if it does away with without needing wires and things like that. They lost cable monopolies. So many choices. Yep. So I'm gonna re-ask this question just because I just want to get your guys' some of you guys who joined in a little bit later in the live stream. Um, Stylo 4 or E5 Plus? Have you tried any other Pokemon Go style games like Jurassic World or Walking Dead ones? No. I mean I've tried. What is it? I tried Ingress. I've played that. Kind of lost interest in that. Jurassic World. Um, I don't know. I'm just not. Not. I don't know. I've got really heavily hooked on Pokemon. I guess it's because I grew up with Pokemon. I mean, I should have taken a picture because it probably would have been a cool picture to post on Instagram. But when I went to go visit my dad, um, way back years ago when I was like, I think I was 14 or 15, Burger King released the Pokemon toys, and then they had like these Pokeball cases, and inside of it had these gold plated Pokemon cards, and they were Pikachu. And my dad still has it because he has like a whole walls of like collectible things from like porcelain dolls, all these different knickknacks that he collected in his travels. And these two Pokeballs are sitting up there with the gold Pikachu cards, and I was like, holy crap, you still have that? Like that's wow, can't believe you guys still have that. So I mean, I don't know. Just me and my family are really heavy into Pokemon, so I've just been really playing that. I'd buy the E5 Plus. All right, that's like 6 votes for the E5 Plus. Sorry, LG, you're losing ground here. Um, I know that not this weekend, but next weekend is Community Day for 2 days, so I'm going to be really busy about that. I may vlog about it, put it up here if anyone's interested in seeing like how Community Day here is in Phoenix. I'd probably do that. E5 Plus for the battery life. Yeah, especially I play Pokemon Go. That eats the hell out of batteries, and I hate being tethered to power banks. I see so many people in Community Day to have like multiple wires running out of their backpacks into their iPhones and iPads, and with my G6 Play, I'm not tethered to anything. I'm just walking around playing, and yeah. So I don't know if you guys are interested in seeing a vlog of Community Day. I'll do one and show you guys around. As I have a small team built together. We go raiding together, and then we go to Community Day together, and yeah, we already planned out for this Community Day. So it's a 2-day event. It's on Saturday the 11th and Sunday the 12th. So we're going to be going to that, and yeah, it should be interesting. Should be interesting to see all the Go players. I'm surprised that a lot of people still play. They still play the game, especially with all the new updates out, like the trading, friendships. Oh yeah, it is nice. Quality build is fantastic on the Stylo 4. I held it yesterday. Performance wise is what I'm more worried about, because I mean there's 2 versions that's coming to Boost Mobile. Right now the Stylo 4 is released at Walmart for Boost Mobile, and then I think in a week it'll be released on Boost Mobile's website. But then there's also the Stylo 4 Plus. Yeah, I still love the X Charge, though I gave it to my son. So he's using it now because he's also on my team. He plays Pokemon Go, so he uses it. He really likes the X Charge because it has that game mode where when you actually start playing a game, it actually converts all of the processing power from your chip to the game, which saves battery from other apps running in background. It just pretty much like closes out every app in background from utilizing the processing chip, so the processing chip can focus more on the gameplay. So the X Charge is still a pretty solid phone. I would still recommend anyone who's a heavy gamer. I would definitely say to go for the X Charge. It's a solid phone for gaming. But yeah, I found myself using the FM tuner on my old Motos because well, yeah. How do you like the Unreal Mobile? I know it runs off Sprint's network, doesn't it? Don't mind me if I kick back here. I'm laying in bed with a giant ass pillow. But how is Unreal Mobile? I mean, like compared to like Boost Mobile, if you've ever used it, or Virgin Mobile, are the speeds pretty much like the same as far as like data speeds in your area? Because I know like here in my city, I pull on a good day, I can pull up to 70, 80 megabits per second. My coverage is the same as Virgin Mobile. Speeds are slightly slower. Throttle speeds are borderline. Oh, I see. You use text now? Cool. Like the full service with text now? Just, the Wi-Fi capabilities. Because I still have my text SIM card somewhere. I have SIM cards from text now. What's their name? Mint Mobile, which used to be Mint Sim. But you can't beat $10 a month. No, you can't. I still have my SIM cards for Freedom Pop. Freedom Pop is just it's weird. Yeah, Mint Mobile is probably one that if you want to pay one time for phone service for an entire year, say you don't go over 10 gigabytes, I definitely recommend Mint Mobile. I definitely say Mint Mobile would be the way to go. You pay for 12 months of service up front, so you don't have to worry about a phone bill for an entire year. See, full service, I paid $30 for 2 phones. One just talk and text. Also, voice calls seem to have a slight delay. Reminds me of Ring Plus. Oh yeah, I wonder if there's like a connection between Unreal Mobile and Ring Plus. Ring Plus was pretty solid. I just hated how they had these really awesome deals, and then they would go away next month. Like the plans would just totally change. Like I remember one of the plans I thought was like really awesome that I had. I think it was like $20 I paid for it. 20 or 10 or 15, something like that. But it was like 1,000 minutes, 1,000 texts, and like 1,000 megabytes of data per month. And I was like, it was a good little burner phone. And then they had some pretty solid ones too. Yep. Go to Ring Plus. Too bad. Just like any other good service out there, they ran into the same problems that Ant Mobile ran into with Verizon, and they went down. Wonder why my daughter's screaming. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. So anyways, guys, I'm probably gonna call it a day right now. I might jump on John's broadcast. If I don't make it for his live broadcast, maybe I'll live stream again tonight. I'll try to. I gotta get some other things done for this Saturday. But thanks for coming in and chatting with me, and it's been fun. So I have a lot of things on my mind. So just coming here to YouTube and hanging out with you guys was pretty awesome. And yeah. So I'll put out some more videos later on this week. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. I'll probably do an in-depth about the Moto G6 Play. And thanks, Pot Trigger, for $1. Appreciate that. I really do. But do you guys want me to live stream later on tonight? Like for real, you guys want me to live stream? Because if you say good morning, more than likely, yes. All right. The individual says yes. So, right now, as I'm about to end this live stream, it's 12 noon. So, it's 12 noon. If I don't get on John's live stream tonight, then 8 hours from now, I'm going to go live again. Okay? And I will see you guys there. My kids are going crazy. I got to go feed them. This is what happens when you don't feed your kids lunch. It's like, hungry? Why wait? Grab a Snickers. I will be doing stuff. Well, you can always catch the replay, though. But all right. I'll see you guys later. Wait a minute. See if I remember how to do this. Me and John is the ultimate? I don't know about that. John may be the ultimate. I'm just your average person. All right, guys. Later.